In today's really fun recipe, I'm going to show you how to make my mini vegan chocolate cake. So let's get started. For my first step, I'm going to take 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil, get that right into a large bowl. To that, I'm going to add in a half a cup of granulated sugar. Just going to grab a whisk and start mixing this around a little bit. That's good. To that, I'm going to add in a half a cup of water. That's just at room temperature. Just mix that all together. That's good. To this, I'm going to add in a half a teaspoon of regular vinegar. Mix that in. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to add in a half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And now we're going to start sifting in our dry ingredients. I will sift in a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Grab the back of a spoon and I'm just going to push all of this through. I want to make sure that we get it all nicely through our sieve so that we don't have any little particles and little bitties in there. That's perfect. Grab my whisk. You can use an electric mixer if you wish as well. And now I'm just going to get all of this combined. Once that's fully combined, we're going to fill our little baking pan. What I have here is a mini baking pan. This is 6 inches in diameter by 2 inches high. And I have lined it with parchment paper. Parchment paper is called baking paper in some countries. And whenever you're filling up a little baking tin, make sure to use a spatula so that you get everything out of your bowl. Makes this job very, very easy. And I do have my oven set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So at this point my oven is hot and it is at the correct temperature. You always want to put your cake into an oven that is set to the right temperature and is already at that temperature. So never put your cake into a cold oven. Okay, that's good. Just going to give it a little bang. I want to get it nice and even. And now I'm going to pop this into my 350 degree Fahrenheit oven and I'll come back when it's baked. Here we go. Exactly 35 minutes in my 350 degree Fahrenheit oven. At this point the cake is extremely hot. I'm going to let it cool for about 15 minutes. I'm going to grab my little spatula. I'm going to go all the way around to loosen the cake. I'll bring it out, I'll let it cool down, and then I'll come back. For today's video, because our cake is vegan, I wanted to keep in the vegan theme. So we're just going to melt down some dark chocolate. This is 72%, and I'm going to show you how easily and fast this melts. Behind me on my stove, I have some hot water in a pot. I'm going to bring it over. We're going to place our bowl on top of the pot, and then I'm going to pour in some of the chocolate, and I want to show you how quickly it melts. So I have my hot water. This just came off the stove. I'm going to place my bowl in here. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of this chocolate. And this chocolate here, I've weighed it out. It's 150 grams. It's a little bit more than a cup. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here. I'm going to leave the camera going. I'm going to move this over. Let me just zoom in. I want to show you this. I don't want to stop the camera because otherwise it doesn't really mean anything. So hot water underneath the bowl. And look at this already. So I've left the camera going, so I don't know, maybe that's 20 or 30 seconds. And you can already see that this chocolate is melting. And this just tells you that this is a very high quality chocolate. There's a lot of cocoa in here, the actual cocoa butter, so it's melting very, very quickly. If you have a chocolate that is not as high of a quality, it won't melt as fast as this. You can see that this is just melting like crazy. So at this point, I'm just going to take all of the rest, just pour that in, and now I'm going to return this to the stove, and I'm just going to get the water going a little bit so that I can start melting all of this chocolate. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back in a little bit and we're going to finish off our cake. At this point, my cake is completely cooled. I've removed it from my little cake tin, and you can see what the parchment paper does. It allows you just to pop your cake right out. Very simple. I'll just take my cake and turn it over. Just grab your little piece of parchment paper and just pull it right off. Look at that. Really nice. So for this video, I'm just going to eyeball this in the middle. I'm going to add a little bit of dark chocolate in the middle just to give the cake a little bit of texture contrast. So right through, and that's good. And I am using a serrated knife to do that. So there we have it. And look at that, how nice that is. Whoa. I am really happy with this cake. No eggs, no butter, no milk. So I'm just going to clean up here. I'm going to get ready for our last step, where we're going to take our dark chocolate that you saw me melt earlier, and we're just going to pour it over the top. I'm going to pour a little bit inside as well, and then we'll just cover it. What I have here is a little piece of parchment paper just to catch my dark chocolate drippings. I have a little pie pan that I'm going to use. I'm going to grab my cake and just place that right in the middle. We'll remove the top. I just want to remove anything that has fallen off. And now I'm just going to apply a little bit of dark chocolate in the middle here. So here is our dark chocolate. I'll just show you how easily this flows. Look at that. Amazing. So I don't want to put a lot in the middle. I'm just going to get it around. If you want to make a vegan frosting, that would be a good idea as well. You want to use something like almond milk or something that has no dairy in it to make your frosting. All I'm doing here is I'm just applying a very thin coat. And that looks good. I grab the top. Just get that right on there. Take your time. I just want to clear off any of the crumbs. That's good. And then just a simple coating of dark chocolate. Super simple. And all vegan. Doesn't matter how much you put on. You can catch all of those drippings and just put them in your bowl later on. Doesn't matter if the sides are all perfect or not. Gives a little character to the cake. I think that looks pretty good. So you can see I've used most of that 150 grams. Let's get a little more on there. There we go. I think that looks really nice. So at this point, I need this to set up a little bit to firm, and then I will place it in the fridge to make this process a little bit quicker. And then we'll come back and we're going to cut into it. But right now I'm just going to zoom in a little bit just to show you the cake a little closer up. So there we have it. Hopefully the camera's picking this up, how nice this is. I am not going to try turning this to show you all of the edges. I don't want to take a chance. I'm just going to leave it like that for a little while, let it firm up, and then I'm going to place it onto a little display cardboard, a little circle, and then we'll cut into it a little later on. But I just wanted to show you that a little closer up. So that's it for now. I will be back in a while, and then we'll cut into it. So this is about an hour later. My chocolate has firmed up quite a bit, so we're just going to take a little slice. I'm going to show you how nice this is inside. Get my knife in there, make sure I do a nice little cut. Whoa, it looks amazing. Let's get it right onto there. There, that looks good. So let me zoom in. So now that I've zoomed in, hopefully you can see our cake a lot better. And let's not forget, this has no eggs, no butter, and no milk. And now I'm going to show you how nice this is. Look at this. Very, very moist. Look at that. And right in the middle there, you can see that little bit of chocolate that we put right in the middle. Of course, I'm going to just test this. Wow. Really amazing. I cannot describe how good this is. I hope you try this out at home. Super, super moist, and that chocolate is really intense. The next time you have somebody over, serve this and don't tell them that it's vegan. Only tell them afterwards and they will be very, very surprised. I'm gonna go in for a little bit more. This is truly an amazing cake. Super, super simple. All I can say is, wow, an amazing cake. I'm going to end my video here. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you wish. If you're on Facebook, check me out, facebook.com/BakeLikeAPro. All of my social media links are down underneath this video in the description box. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. That is amazing. Wow.